In Donald Trump's first administration and in the beginning of his second, he has done everything possible to attack our country, to attack our Constitution, attack the rule of law, attack our government, undermining and cutting Medicaid, going after Social Security, defying the courts. Donald Trump has made big, broad attacks on our government, but the small ones really start to add up over time. The lack of patriotism we feel looking at an American flag, the shadow seemingly over the White House all the time. And it's not just me and probably you who feels that way. So does Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurt, who does not want to go visit a White House currently being occupied by a fascist to celebrate his Super Bowl victory, unlike one of his teammates. And clearly that has Donald Trump upset. And we are going to get into all of that, including the dynamic between the Eagles quarterback and their running back around Donald Trump. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, of course, we are going to get into what Jalen Hurt had to say about Donald Trump. But first, I want to start with what Donald Trump had to say about Eagles running back Saquon Barkley in a really weird moment right here.
This is Biden's war. This isn't Trump's war. I came in to try and solve a problem. And the problem is so many people are being killed. By the way, Saquon, what a great guy.
Sir, can I ask
you see the conditioning. His conditioning's pretty good. Better than you, better than me.
So if you do not follow football that closely, Saquon Barkley is the Eagles running back and maybe one of the best, if not the best, in the entire NFL. He was a key free agent signing in the offseason, and in his first season with the Eagles, he helped lead them to the Super Bowl. Now, obviously, he was not as important as Jalen Hurts, who brought home the Super Bowl MVP in that game, and there's a reason I have a little bit more of a soft spot for Jalen Hurts. But Saquon spent the weekend with Donald Trump. He was golfing with him. Then he went to the White House. It's why Donald Trump interrupted his discussion of the war in Ukraine, which clearly he doesn't care about, to praise Saquon Barkley. But it didn't just stop there. Donald Trump and the White House posted a photo of Trump and Saquon, who had been spending so much time palling around, throwing the football, and people were rightfully upset that Saquon Barkley was hanging out with a fascist and being all buddy-buddy with him as he continues to attack everyone in America who is not, a billionaire, a white male billionaire. So yeah, Saquon got some blowback, and because of that, he got all in his feelings, and he shared this post right here. Saquon wrote, "LOL, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president. Maybe I just respect the office. Not a hard concept to understand. Just golfed with Obama not too long ago, and I look forward to finishing my round with Trump. Now you get out of my mentions with all the politics and have an amazing day." This is always such an interesting defense to me, right? And Bill Maher did the same thing. All these people say, oh, my grandfather or my grandmother or my mom or dad, to know that their son, their daughter, made it all the way to the White House to meet with the president. Oh, what an honor it would be for our family. What if the president's a fascist? You say you respect the office, and that's why you're hanging out with Donald Trump? Do you know who doesn't respect the office? Donald Trump. He's made that clear, that he does not care about the presidency outside of it being a tool to enrich and benefit himself. So if you really cared about the office, you wouldn't be with that guy. And if you love the presidency so much, I don't know, build a Lego White House, watch a documentary, run for office, Saquon. Actually, I guess if you're a big fan of Donald Trump, maybe don't, but that's the way that you should be spending your time. Advocate for people who do respect the office. Don't try to BS your way out of this with some nonsense tweet. I don't want to hear it. And clearly, neither does Saquon's teammate, Jalen Hurt, the quarterback of the Eagles, who made his position on all of this pretty clear. And I want to take a look at that right here.
And our Ross Giammattei is live at the link this morning with more on the team's trip. And Ross, a lot of people wondering which of the team members will actually be at the White House for this ceremony later today. Good morning.
Good morning, Janelle and Jim. Yeah, that is the big question. And listen, we're not done celebrating the Super Bowl just yet. You can see it proudly on display here at the link behind me. And, you know, the presidential visit befits only the best teams in their respective sports after they win a championship. But like we just mentioned, the big question is how many of the Eagles players will be there to greet President Trump at the White House later today. Only time will tell. But let's show you what happened yesterday, because Eagles all-world running back Saquon Barkley was spotted with the leader of the free world. Saquon spotted with President Trump getting off of Marine One in Morristown, New Jersey. And then he was also seen at the White House holding a football in his hand. That's fitting. The president had high praise when he was asked about his time with the Eagles running back. However, Eagles quarterback and Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurt wasn't so warm to the idea of visiting the White House when he was asked about it last week on the red carpet for the 2025 Time 100 Gala in New York City.
Are you planning on visiting the White House next week?
Not it.
Not exactly a yes there, so it's unclear whether Jalen Hurt will be at the White House with the team today, but we have learned that Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick from Bucks County will be with the team attending today's ceremony. You may remember in 2018, after the Eagles won their first Super Bowl, the Trump White House rescinded their invitation to the team in the midst of players protesting during the national anthem.
Now that right there, that's a leader I can get behind. I think I'm going to be Team Jalen Hurts in all of this. I myself am a 49ers fan, so it's a little bit difficult for me to be celebrating any Eagle. But you know what? In the war against fascism, I think football can take a back seat. I support you, Jalen Hurts. I'm glad you don't want to travel to hang out with Donald Trump. Again, this is a man who disinvited the Eagles, same team, from attending the White House in 2018 because they were exercising their First Amendment right in protest of police brutality. Saquon, that's the guy who respects the office? Someone attacking the First Amendment? Someone who's attacked the First Amendment even more than maybe we could have ever imagined in this term? Really? It's just so nonsensical. I can't stand it. But what I can stand is listening to my favorite football coach. That's Tim Walz, and a takedown of Trump right here.
And on a hour-by-hour, day-by-day basis, the President of the United States has chosen to throw our economy into turmoil. Global markets are teetering on the brink of collapse. Businesses across this country and here in Minnesota are already laying off employees by the thousands. Working people are paying more for basic goods, and if you haven't checked your 401k lately, don't do it. So let's be very clear. None of this had to happen. When the president took office 3 months ago, there was no reason to throw a wrench in the works and destroy decades of work. But if you listen to anything that comes out of his mouth, one thing has become clear. He's just plain confused about how the world really works for working people. We're talking about a guy that slapped a 10% tariff on an island populated only by penguins. It'd be funny as hell if it wasn't true and stupid. It makes no sense to anyone. That isn't servant leadership. It's not any kind of leadership. It's small, it's weak, and it's petty. It takes the awesome power of the federal government and turns it into a crude weapon, wielded by a man who wants to be king. As governor, I will continue to do everything in my power to protect Minnesotans from getting hurt and continue to provide shelter from the storm for Minnesotans. But I want to be clear. It is not enough to complain about the damage of the administration is causing. It's not even enough to try and clean up as much of this mess as we can. We need to prove to the people of Minnesota and to the American people there is a better way to govern. Because the truth is, this current administration in Washington, they're not forever. These small petty men will disappear into the dustbin of history, and when they do, there will be an opportunity and an obligation to actually rebuild government so that it works for working people. If we're all going to seize the opportunity, we have to be ready to show that we can be trusted with that obligation. If we want to earn back the trust of the American people in government, we have to be honest about the fact government hasn't always deserved that trust in the first place. And if we want the chance to govern righteously, if we want the chance to govern ambitiously, then we have to do a better job of proving that we can govern responsibly. Which brings me to this year's budget. 2 years ago, we made historic investments in our people and in our future. And I want to be very clear, We are not walking away from the commitments we've made to our schools, to our health care, to green energy, to public safety, to feeding our kids, and to taking care of seniors. We keep that promise.
Oh God, I miss Tim Walz. It just reminds me of J.D. Vance picking up the national championship trophy from the fake base that he didn't know wasn't actually a part of the trophy and dropping it because he's such an imbecile. He claims that I'm a man's man, but you don't know how the trophy works. Get out of here. These people are nonsensical, but there are more important things to call them out for, as Tim Walz did right here.
First of all, thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for your service.
Thanks.
And my son-in-law was an Ohio Army National Guardsman.
Oh, great.
He deployed to Iraq. He deployed near burn pits. He passed away on May 6th of 2020 from lung cancer from his burn pit exposure. Yep. The Republicans voted for that continuing resolution. They took $23 billion out of the PACT Act.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, and maybe you can't answer it, why are Republicans so against taking care of veterans? They'll spend the money to go to war, but when they come back sick and dying, we can't afford that.
This is one where raising your voices like you did will make a difference. It is the most maddening damn thing to be in Congress and not be able to get veterans things done and watch these guys, back in the blue, back in the soldier, back in the troops. They're the same ones that voted against paying our firefighters for the lung diseases they got by fighting 9/11. They're the same people. So you've got a family like this. Far be it from me to ever ask anybody. You've given more than you should have ever asked. But when you raise your voice, it echoes. It's better than 10, 15, 100 members of Congress because it resonates with your neighbors in a way that nothing else does. So I'm grateful you'd come and trust us with that.
Once again, you say you respect the man. You want to spend time with him because of your love and admiration for the office. What about our veterans? Do you love and admire them? Do you want to show them respect? Do you care that they're having their benefits taken from them? People who fought and died for your freedoms? Maybe think about that next time, Saquon. Maybe think about it next time. Jalen Hurts clearly did, and for that we commend him. And we are going to keep on commending folks like him, standing up to Donald Trump, because we need more of them on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.